I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
But, you know, we've always played our best basketball in March, not just here, everywhere I've been. It's not a coincidence. When you're good at that, you go back. But, you know, I keep trying, how do we get to Monday night? You know, how do we get to Monday night? And you're willing to do about everything. And I've had two teams that were good enough to win on Monday night. I've only had two.
And now there are three.
Truth.
Hey, y'all, this is Ryan Monso, and this is a Talking About Them Cougars podcast from GoCoogs.com. Galen texted me and asked, what are the topics tonight?
Off-season workouts.
Yeah.
Portal entries.
2028 recruiting. It could go anywhere. Or you're less than an hour or less than 24 hours away from tip-off for the national freaking title. It feels weird to say even 24 hours after it happened. Galen, Brad, thoughts?
I'll let you go first, Brad.
It really is surreal. You know, I woke up this morning.
Please don't say it.
I woke up this morning around 5:30. I think I fell asleep at 4:30. And I just had to grab my phone and look at Twitter and make sure, okay, yeah, that all that happened. And it was it's a surreal experience to get that, to win in the fashion that we won, but then also to know that there's nobody playing after us. We've come to the end of the season to where there are no more games to be played.
It's the first time in 41 years that you can 100% say, this is it. There's no possibility of advancing. This is it. For Javier Francis, for Juwan Roberts, for Malik Wilson, for LJ Cryer, this is it. They might go play pro ball, but they're doing 11 months a year for this, and this is it. Galen?
Yeah, like Tom said, I say it's surreal because it just seems like stuff like this just doesn't happen for little old Houston, man. And to know that we've earned our way, that's the most rewarding part. You know, people, whenever we went to the Final Four in 21, they were saying we had the easiest road to the Final Four. How do you discredit a team for getting to the Final Four? And they said that because of the seeds we played. When we only played who won. It wasn't, we didn't dictate that. That's not our fault. But for us to, and now they're saying that we've had I think it's strategically or whatever number, we've had like statistically the hardest road to the Final Four and the championship. And it's like people are still trying to discount us. And it's just like, you know, they'll look for any reason to knock us, but our guys, they're here because they deserve to be here. Not because of luck, not because of this, not because of that. It's because of heart.
For sure. I was on a show earlier today with the group in Vegas talking about the lines and things like that. And like, I don't know. But Florida's a 1-point favorite. They think most of the money is going in on Florida right now. And I told him, look, Florida should probably be a 3 or 4 point favorite. Why not? Just going to piss these guys off more. But I said it on that show and I'll say it again. It feels like destiny. It feels like it's inevitable, you know?
Yeah. And it was
it's weird feeling that way.
Yeah. But it's just timing, man, because I feel like we've had a couple of teams that were good enough to advance far. And it's just, with health hasn't been, we haven't had the luck of health in March. There's always been someone who's been out and that we've had to overcome. And it's just like that now that finally everyone's healthy, we're at this point. And it's just, like I said, we deserve to be here more than anybody, man. We've taken heartbreak after heartbreak year after year. And it's just like, now we're here. And it's just the first time Coach Sampson has ever in his legendary career played on Monday night. First time ever. It's just timing, man. It's divine timing.
It was so weird. But we showed that video in the intro of Kelvin and I on October 30th, 2023. The day before, I was in Manhattan, Kansas, getting on a plane to fly home, and I got confirmation of something that I'd been working on for a few weeks as I was getting Kelvin to sit down for an hour to talk about Reggie. So Reggie had 2 months before that. He hadn't talked about it publicly. And so we kind of talked about some other things, and we got on the tournament, and he brought that up. I want to play on Monday night.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's never spoken about this publicly. I'm sure he's talked about it with his team. Karen Sampson said he's talked about it, obviously, with her. But man, it's crazy that you're in this event. I'm going to show this comment. I just popped up. We've handled Nemhard, Braden Smith. I don't remember Ziegler's.
Zakai Ziegler.
Zakai, okay. Proctor, and also Clayton, not Clayton, Cooper Flag.
I think they're talking about the team starting guards.
Clayton. Well, I mean, Cooper is a guard. He's a forward. He's a center. He's whatever the fuck he wants to be that day.
He's at home. I thought we were just talking about things he was.
Yeah. I got a whole bunch of Cooper merchandise for sale down the street, the 50% off store. The guy actually literally said while I was walking out to someone else, yeah, this is all on sale, and we're probably going to discount it again because we don't want to take it home back to Jacksonville, Florida. And I was like, or send it to, poor kids in Africa or in Antarctica or wherever. Shout out to the Big 12. Everywhere I look, they are giving support for U of H. That feels great. It helps to have Duke as the enemy for a game.
Yeah. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I mean, that's a pretty good
find
place to start.
You found a lot of people rooting for U of H last night. We had some new bandwagon fans last night.
Yeah.
In the arena, and Galen, you probably heard the boos for Duke way outshouted anything else that happened all night. When they introduced Duke, it was boo. Like, I was surprised, but there you go. All right, I just lost all the comments. That's weird.
But game gotta respect game though, man. That is a talk about every kid growing up. Every kid grows up, dreams about going to Duke, man. Like let's just keep it honest. Let's just be honest about it. And I'm sure for a lot of our guys, they probably had, dreams of going to Duke, and to be able to beat a school because they didn't think you were this and they didn't think you were that. And the guys that they thought were this and that, for you to beat them, like I said, from little old Houston, just little old us, just us and our just little old man. That's what March Madness is about, man. Dreams coming true.
And shout out to Duke. They gave you 28 minutes of hell last night. and it was impressive to see. If you move forward a game to Florida, Manuel Sharp is from Tampa, Florida. Florida was one of his first offers.
Mm-hmm.
It was a serious thought. And here he is going back, or not going back, but playing Florida in the national title game. And good for him. Your AD, who you met 2 days ago, Galen, Eddie Nunez, played at Florida, won a championship at Florida. Maybe not. I might have just made that up. I think I just made that up.
He was there on the second one.
He was I think he was there in the mid 90s, actually, because he was at LSU by the mid 2000s. So I just made that up. That's on me. But Eddie played there.
Go ahead.
Let's just pretend he played on all the title teams. But I think he's a little too old. He was at LSU for like 15 years and then New Mexico for 5. So the math doesn't quite make sense. But anyways, Eddie played there. And obviously he is a plant. And this is forward thinking, is that they're just going to, he's going to screw U of H here. Just kidding.
Oh, well. Ryan, I didn't talk about this yesterday. I don't know if I could. Yeah, okay, I can. I'm sure I can. But I remember I went to U of H's practice, and Emmanuel, I forget who it was. They were doing like a little mini red and white scrimmage, preparing to execute their plays and whatnot. And I forget who it was who passed Emmanuel the ball. Emmanuel shot faked one dribble. Somebody else was close, but they weren't close enough because he shot a lot worse shots than what he was going to shoot. And he shot faked again and passed it. Coach Sampson immediately blew his whistle. He said, "Sean, you're going to shoot that fucking shot. Shoot it now." That's exactly what he said. And in one of the biggest plays of the game yesterday, Emmanuel had got that ball on that wing, the same place, same right wing, shot faked, one dribble, sidestep, shot it. I think that put us down maybe 3 or I don't remember, but
yeah,
that less than 24 hours before Coach Sampson was correcting him on doing it, and then in one of the biggest possessions of the game, he did it. That's coaching, and that's carryover.
Yep,
I forgot to mention that yesterday.
Cooper did a little flyby on that one, and then he just stepped back and popped it.
Yeah, but man, that was just what a game. We watched the greatest game ever. That is freaking crazy, man. That is
when
crazy.
Cooper Flagg made that 3 with 3 minutes to play and put U of H down 9, you kind of thought it was over, right? And I think everybody in the arena, maybe every U of H fan, they thought it was over. And then you go down and you miss a shot, but you get an offensive board. And then you miss a shot and you get an offensive board. And then you have a shot blocked and you get an offensive board, and Emmanuel puts it back. That was the quintessential U of H play. You thought maybe it took too long because it took almost a minute for that possession.
Mm-hmm.
And you only got 2 points out of it. But man, it was the kick in the face that they needed. And Proctor turned it over, and then they had a foul.
Missed the running ones.
Emmanuel made 2 free throws, and then Flagg went down and made 2. It was crazy sequence.
Yeah.
And who would have thought that a team that does not practice free throws would be so clutch down the stretch? Big credit to Sampson for not practicing those free throws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Coach Sampson, he always says, like, in regards to a lead, that 3 minutes left, 9 points, 9-point deficit, and each possession is 30 seconds. So there's enough possessions that we have if we get 3 stops, we can score 9 points. He's told me that's his methodology whenever he's thinking about a lead in possessions. And I just thought that once we went down 9, I knew we had to score before we went down more than that if we were going to have a chance. And every time the possessions with the amount of points that were down, they always aligned. And that was also crazy to me.
And he said in today's press conference that the biggest thought going through his head in those last 3 minutes was the foul math.
Mm-hmm.
Do we foul? Do we foul? And he said, no, I'm going to trust our defense because I think the shot that we're going to force them to take is going to be harder than 2 free throws. And we're going to contest it. And I know we're going to contest it. And I mean, there's a time when you stop relying on what got you there and you just go to, okay, you're supposed to foul. But he didn't. He trusted what they've done all year. And you needed a little bit of Duke panic, and you needed some luck, and you needed your guys to be absolutely clutch. All lined up.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't bad.
It's one of those, you're either a genius or you're the dumbest person in the stadium.
And he said that, I believe. He said, maybe I'm looked at as smart or maybe I'm stupid. Speaking of stupid, Brad.
Star Pizza.
Good people. Better pizza.
Mom, Star Pizza. Look, she's calling it out too.
Yeah. He doesn't get any more for that, Mom.
But I think they
coverage of a championship team. GoCoogs.
I think Star Pizza has something going on tomorrow, right?
They have happy hour all day. Happy hour starts at 4 a.m.
Yes,
you get there at 4, you'll be the only one. Happy hour all day. Wine specials, pizza by the slice specials.
Thin crust pizza for $9. $4. I think it was $4 garlic bread with cheese. Is that right?
I think so.
That stuff is fantastic.
Shocking that you memorize this.
Well, because it's all my favorites.
Oh, man.
Big news. GoCoogs intern is on tonight. He'll be here any minute. So we're going to get that done.
Glad you have good audio today, Ryan.
Thank you, buddy.
Good audio, man.
What? I had good audio yesterday, except for that little blurb, a little whatever.
So how much did y'all enjoy the internet today?
Man, biggest fan. Man, just seeing all the praise, man, they deserve it. I've it's been nonstop scrolling, just everybody just showing love. That's cool.
And if I see reactions from the crowds on video from the crowd, I'm retweeting it or re-Xing it or whatever.
Retweet.
All right. Let's talk about your boy at the pep rally.
Oh, I know exactly.
Are we ready for this?
We do, for the rest of our lives, the University of Houston will be looking back on one weekend in San Antonio, and we're going to say, after we get done tomorrow night, remember the Alamo Tournament.
That guy has a way with words.
Yeah, definitely has a way with words.
He should turn that into a career.
Yeah.
Were you with us last night when we got the Marcus Sasser video?
I don't think so.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Okay, we're gonna do it again, guys.
Please.
We'll bring Brad in. Enjoy, Galen.
Yeah, one. Quit playing with her. Time out. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they don't got. Oh, what they gonna do? Hold on. What they gonna do? Hold on. No time. Oh, I feel okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get a stop. Let's get a stop. Yeah. That's what we do. Hey, one. Hey, one. Hey, I don't want to cuss on here like that, boy. You gonna make me say something, nigga. Stop. What they reviewing? Come on. We at the free throw line. Come on. Yeah, go ahead and knock these down, LJ. Go ahead and knock these down, LJ. Come on. Come on, they don't got no more timeouts. What? What? Get up in the music. Yeah, JoJo. All over that. All over that, JoJo. Oh, hold on. No. What? Chill out. It is more. That's good. Hey, Co-Simp. You the GOAT, boy.
That cracks me up. He's one of the quietest guys, and
he's
that reaction.
very, very chill, very laid back. That's crazy. Detroit got him acting
I love that he was telling the crowd to shh, so Juwan could shoot free throws. That was very great. That was so funny to me.
Man, that is
all right. And since we're doing it, how about we do Jamal's video? I guess we haven't done this one. Did we show this last night? I don't think we had.
No, it came out today.
Okay.
Come on, Lee. Get home. That's a foul. Come on, let's stop. Come on. Hell yeah. Come on. Let's go. I hate you, bro. Hey, yo, I hate you, bro. Let's go. Take us home, LJ Cryer. That's my roommate. Oh, yeah. Let's go. No. Let's go. Oh, I'm finna go sleep. Good. He did call it.
This game today, Houston is gonna win.
It's our first trip to the national championship game since freaking Hakeem was there.
Yes, sir.
Walk them down, baby. You already know what's happening. Go Cougs, baby. I'm so proud of you boys. It's not over yet. Go get Coach Sam his first one. D.I. gotta wear that jersey.
That's tough.
It's so wild seeing these guys like this.
It's so wild, all of us having the same reaction. Like,
well, I'm glad that seeing them, they had the same reaction I did whenever the ball was tipped. I was like, no.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
Because I could just sense something terrible was going to happen.
Oh, man.
It's like tip, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, another one of those heartbreakers. But then it wasn't meant to be.
No, he makes that we go into overtime. We might lose that. Man.
Yeah. Joining us, GoCoogs intern, also apparently has a job at the Houston Chronicle that nobody knew about. Joseph Duarte may be joining us. Could just be a black screen.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you see me?
No. We can hear you.
Let's see. Let me see here. Let me try to figure this out here. Let's see. Leave studio. Want to, but I won't. Hey, it says I'm good. I don't know what the deal is.
Camera icon, is it on?
Oh, let me see here. You know what? I bet you it's this thing right here. Yeah.
We saw some.
Here we go. You know, it's always good to see Galen and Brad and Ryan.
Exactly.
Hey, did y'all hear the story about me at the Wichita airport? It's 5 a.m. Some dude comes up to me. Hey, you're Joe, GoCoogs intern. I told him, man, it's too early. I said, those are fighting words at 5 a.m.
That's way too early for that.
And then he said, oh, I love Ryan. I'm like, dude, I know you did get no sleep.
That person's a sicko.
This is Michael Jones, our guy.
Well, that's true.
So we are pro that. Thank you, Michael. Joseph Duarte, from your respected professional journalistic opinion, rate last night.
Oh, it's at the top. There's no way it's not. You know, in my 27 years covering all types of teams, leagues, pro sports, college, I've the closest, and you know, I'm not trying to be a Longhorn. Closest that I've come to it is the Texas USC game from a college football standpoint, but from a college basketball standpoint, I've never been a part of that. I was there for the Villanova North Carolina game where God, I can't remember his name, but he hit the buzzer beater.
Marcus Page, I think it was.
No. This was
the back-to-back threes. They traded threes.
Marcus Page and Chris Jenkins.
That one. But from a local standpoint, to see what Houston did and all the talk about Duke.
Yeah.
It's up there. Plus, somebody I know got the score within 1 point, right? So I kind of saw it coming.
Sounds like you missed.
Yeah.
You got it wrong. But
yeah 71-67. My bad.
That's pretty good, I guess. That's what you're into.
People will like my score for tomorrow.
How do they find out that?
Just go online.
On the internet.
Yeah, it'll be on the internet.
Oh man.
But no, this is up there. I mean, that was huge. I mean, Galen will tell you, man, it's sort of like a snowball effect. When you get hot, man, it can go really special for you really fast. And I think I'm more impressed with the fact that Duke had one field goal the last 10 and a half minutes. That's crazy when you look at the roster that they have.
Yeah.
And, you know, Kelvin said the game plan was they weren't going to devote 2 or 3 guys to Cooper Flag at the risk of one of the other guys going off. They were going to make everybody work for it.
Yeah.
And, you know, shame on us for ever doubting Kelvin Sampson in a game plan that he had multiple days to prepare for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the guy that I was sitting next to at the game, he was like, "Do you think we're gonna?" It doesn't mean the GoCoogs intern.
It is the Godfather and the GoCoogs intern right there.
Yep.
But the guy said, "Do you think we're gonna double Cooper, get the ball out of his? And we're gonna treat him how we treat everybody else? It's no need to do anything special, no need to do anything extra. Granted, he's a good player, but we have a great defensive team, so." I'll take
I've never heard Kelvin
over his offensive ability any day.
Kelvin gives, you know, props to players, opposing players.
Yeah, for sure.
But I've never seen him just flat out say, "Oh no, we're going to double team this guy," because sometimes he doesn't have to. I mean, there's been some really good players that Houston's played in the tournament alone over the last 5 or 6 years that they didn't do anything that they wouldn't normally do, but they shut them down. Guys that come in scoring 18 points, man, it's 6. You know, they're shooting 50% or 47%, and they shoot, you know, 2 for 12 or something. It's just, I mean, it's a credit, man. I mean, I know there's some game planning that goes in, but you got to have guys that execute. And man, these guys are dogs. And I'd like to use this phrase at least once in my life. These guys are dogs. I mean, the way that they go out there and they fight and they battle. It's a special team. This team is. You know, I don't want to get ahead, but man, it's trending in the right direction.
Sure. And the thing is, Coach Sampson, he definitely made it clear what he thinks about Cooper Flag. He said, this is the best guy we've played.
Yeah.
This is the best college player I probably ever coached against. He made that very clear, but he was like, I believe in our defense.
Yeah.
He'd be a fool not to. I mean, look where it's gotten you this far.
And I haven't heard him talk about it because I didn't see what was going on today. But we tried to do the double team and doing a whole lot of not different stuff. But we were trying to do the double team and jumping the screens and everything in the first. And then what's his name? Nepple just went off.
Yeah,
he was hitting
everything.
Nepple. But then in the second half, he got completely shut down.
4 points.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, that was the difference. If you're going to get beat by their go-to guy and don't get beat by a secondary dude. And let other people pop up that don't need to.
Yeah. That's a good
And
saying.
then of course, J1, 6th year, you knew he took that as a massive challenge. He said, it's not going to happen, not on my watch.
Right.
And he guarded him as good as you could possibly guard him without getting a hand on the ball.
JD, how do we get a high gloss print of those sports covers?
That's a good question. I'll try to post a link in the next day or so. If you've got listeners that are interested, tell them to hit me up, DM me on X, and I got a little workaround. I might be able to help a few folks out and do it that way. We gave out a souvenir special edition last night just for the win. That one is not available anywhere, but anything that's come out or will come out, yeah, we can help the intern will get on it and make those type of phone calls. And
I like your attitude.
I want to move up in the company.
Exactly.
And I gotta sometimes you gotta kiss the boss's ass, I guess. So I'll do what I have to do. So Galen, I'll get on it, sir.
This is awkward, but tomorrow's your last day.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a run.
We closed. You're not going to give a prediction? That's what.
No, I gave one.
Okay.
It's already
all right.
online. I picked Houston. 65-59.
65-44, he says. Wow.
No. 65-59.
59.
I think they bring the D tomorrow, the defense. I think they drop the hammer.
Oh, they'd be bringing the D all right.
I think this is one of those games where you've seen, you look at Gonzaga. They I think it was 80, what was it, 82, 86 going in. Houston held them like 12, 15 below their average. Arizona, BYU, who was the Tennessee. I mean, they just do that to you.
Duke was an offensive juggernaut. They were reportedly the greatest offensive team in the Ken Palm era.
20 points below their average.
Yeah.
I just think that and with championship games, you tend to have they can get ugly at times. And Kelvin makes it a point. This ain't a beauty contest. As long as the points on the board or one more than the other two, that's all they care about. And I think that this is going to be one of those, you get your lunch pail and your hard hat. If you're Houston, you clock in and you clock them out. And that's it. I think that's what happens in this game. I would not be surprised if that's how this thing plays out.
Duke was averaging 92 points in the tournament before yesterday. And there was a point where you thought they were going to get there. Yeah. But it didn't quite work out. Galen, you have anything?
I just wanted to say, Coach Sampson, he made it very clear that, guys, their team is better than ours. We have no chance to beat them because their team. We have to make it a fight. If we make it a fight, it's up our alley. We're the better team if we make it a fight. But if we play their brand of basketball, we have no chance because they're a better team. We play our brand, we're not. We have a chance. And sure enough, he said he made that very clear to the guys. Made that very clear. But they went out, they believed, and they executed. And it's no coincidence that the greatest offensive team since in the Ken Palm era was held 20 points. But they do that to everybody.
Ryan, I think regardless of what happens tomorrow, Houston's serving notice because guess what? You got 3 McDonald's All-American types coming in. And look what Kelvin's done so far with developing players. And, no knock about being a 3-star or whatever, those recruiting services. But he's got it. He's squeezed every last ounce of hustle and talent and whatever you got to give for these guys, and they've won. They win every single year. You add some of these talent, these 5-star guys, man. I mean, this this is set up to be, even if one of them's a one and done or whatever, this thing is built to last. And Galen will tell you, Galen was the original. He's the OG. He came when it wasn't cool to come to Houston. And when Galen got there, others followed. And I think it's been a chain reaction since. And they're all linked. And they all just they want to be a part of this. So if I'm another Big 12 coach or someone else out there, I'm worried now because Houston is getting the big names on top of everything else that they already have.
That's pretty accurate. You got to feel really good about where you are. We're going to bring Jamie in just a minute. He's going to talk about some names in the transfer portal you need to watch out for, especially there's one came out this afternoon, a little surprising. But we'll get to that. Duarte, you have did you get anything out of today meeting with players and Kelvin?
No, it was today's a little different, and maybe because it wasn't as active. Like the build up for Thursday, Friday was you had 2 days and stuff, but they were tired. I mean yesterday's game was between the late finish and the what it took to pull that out, it was draining. So you could tell that they were a little sluggish. I don't think many of them got to bed until after 2:00. But it seemed like the message was that they all know what's in front of them. They know that even though maybe it's not right, they carry a little bit of the weight of what's happened to this school in the past. And I know a lot of people will bring up Phi Slamma Jamma, and they will bring up, more recently the Michigan game and the Villanova game, and just stuff like that. But they accept it, and they want to be the ones that bring a championship to this school. I mean, I don't even know what that would feel like if you're a University of Houston fan who's waited 40-something years for even to be in this position. You got a generation that doesn't know what that feels like. And if you're just starting off at U of H, well, it's like being a Cubs fan and all the other people waited 100 years for a World Series. And hey, I was born in 2000 or whatever, and I won a title before I was 10 years old. So there wasn't a lot out of it. It's just the let's get ready, let's go play this game. And a lot of the talk was like on Walter Clayton Jr. and some of the challenges that maybe the size that the front court has with Florida, but nothing major came out of it. Kelvin was pretty much typical Kelvin. Got a little emotional talking about. He
was pretty good.
Yeah, he was still emotional talking about his twin sister who passed away a few years ago. He joked about some of the older coaches like Izzo and Popovich and I can't think of who the other one was, but basically Tubby Smith, basically saying, "Hey, go win it for the old guys." I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, I think they're just ready to get out there and play this thing.
Do you think there's a chance of a kind of an emotional letdown, kind of like Villanova, what happened with Tennessee a week ago?
Nah, I mean, this is if you can't get up for the national championship, and that's not a Kelvin team. They'll get up for Jackson State in non-conference. It's just that type of team. It would be different if they didn't have that type of mentality or they didn't have that teaching or that drilling that they do. But yeah, this team is seasoned. I mean, they're not going to get this far just to fall flat. And like LJ said, I thought it was interesting last night. LJ said something to the effect that if you're going to lose, you're going to go down swinging when you lose. You're not going to quit.
Yeah.
And I think that's just what this team's about. I mean, and it's not just this team. It goes back to the day one of pro when they were 13 and 19 or whatever it was the first year. Kelvin preaches a certain way, and that's the way it is. I did what I asked Galen. I don't know if he saw this. Kelvin was the emotion after last night. I thought was interesting. We've seen different shades of Kelvin over the years, but I've never seen him cuss as much as he did on national television and in the locker room. So I thought that was kind of funny. And he has a few new dance moves that he was doing. But I mean, that's good to see that side of him. You could tell that it's genuine, and the guys love it. And him and J1 slapping the Houston nameplate on the bracket. I mean, those are good moments. And I was afraid there in the second half that wasn't going to be a good moment at the end until they pulled away.
But just imagine, he's been coaching for over 40 years, and this is the first time in his legendary Hall of Fame coaching career that he's got to this point.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to let all the hard work, all the what you may deem as failure, you got to just let that out, man. It's just the one time that you've gotten there, you got to, you got to just live in the moment. And, that's what he did, man. That guy works hard, and that guy is real intent on what he does. And it's just, like I said, man, there's nobody more deserving than to get the Manatee than Coach Sam.
Ryan, I was out with some people tonight, and they were telling me that I need to double check it, but this could be the toughest path for a team that wins a 16-8, a 4, a 2, a 1, and a 1. This would be the toughest since Syracuse back in 2003, I believe. Or 2.
Whatever that was.
And Oklahoma was that team. Kelvin's team had to face Syracuse, but this would be the toughest path.
Yeah, that would have been 2002.
Yeah. Before Ken Palm, I think you had Arizona when they won it as a 4 seed. I think they beat 3 or maybe all 4 number ones on the way.
I don't think that's possible.
3 number ones on the way.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. All right, Joseph Duarte, thank you so much for taking a few minutes. Especially with your career coming to an end tomorrow as a GoCoogs intern.
If you have any listeners out there that have openings, I'll submit my resume. I work hard, and I think I have potential. And I don't
a lot of upside.
I won't ask for a letter of recommendation from my current boss because he'll probably crap all over my chances. But I'll work hard. Just give me a chance. All I need, give me a chance.
There you go. Joseph Duarte.
Later, Galen.
University of Texas graduate. Never forget.
That degree doesn't go as far as it used to.
All right.
JD.
Joseph Duarte.
Always good to have Joseph in here.
Man, JD's a cool dude, man. JD's my guy.
U of H has beaten 4 top 15 teams so far in the tournament. If they win tomorrow, that'll be 5. Brutal run, a la the Rockets' second championship when they beat 2 60-win and 2 55-win teams. I didn't have that much detail, but yeah. Malik's rebounding is flying under the – well, not here.
Yeah.
Nobody's been more on Malik than we have, and for 2 years. So not flying under the radar with us. We're going to move right along. Here is Jamie Hollingsworth, straight from the Marriott.
You feel me?
Damn, I thought it was Gary Parrish all of a sudden grew hair.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sure Gary Parrish is in my La Quinta here with the fancy furnishings.
Nice.
Shout out to hotels that have stairwells that actually go into the hotel. All the stairwells he'll put you outside. And I don't like elevators. So I'm taking the stairs and it craps you out into the cold wind.
Is it a hotel or is it a motel?
It's a hotel. We have hallways, but
you're not facing the
the
parking lot?
stairs are weird. What's that?
You're not open up to the parking lot?
No, I'm not.
Oh, man.
Now, Galen found out parking $75 for 6 hours or whatever the hell. But
yeah, all I did was
not
follow.
elite.
All I did was follow Ryan's instructions, and it led my pockets to a deficit. So,
well, you know what? OneSubstantial.com.
yes. Oh wait, this way. Yeah. Go there. Go there.
Houston versus parking lots. all
Dropping
day.
soon.
Jamie, have you spent 100 hours on Duke yet, or Florida yet? I've done 4 interviews today with other people, and I have dropped Auburn's name, every one of them, as the opponent for tomorrow. I just have it in my head that it's Auburn, and now I'm saying Duke. Florida.
Yep. So I got started last night around 2 o'clock in the morning. Got the personnel done, and then dug into film today. I watched their SEC championship game against Tennessee. I thought that would be the most similar style that they've played. So it gives me a good comparison to see, how they play against teams like the Cougs. So
if you had to give a 15-second elevator speech, what is Florida? What do you need to know?
So you stumped me last week on Duke when you asked who do they compare to that we played against. I went with Utah just because of their just straight size alone. They were a big team, but if I had to go 15 seconds, Florida,
you're past that by 20 seconds. Go ahead.
Florida is a more consistent Arizona. Like everything about them screams Arizona to me, from Clayton being comparable to Caleb Love. They play 3 guards, 2 post players. Their big guys are similar to Visar and Alwakan. I can't remember the other big guy's name for Arizona, but they're eerily similar to Arizona, just a little bit more consistent throughout the year.
Okay. You think? I mean, I guess, but you think Houston's going to win? And how do they do that?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Before that.
Yep.
What did you think that we had to do in order for us to have a chance against Duke?
Get the ball in the paint, not necessarily to score in the paint, but they just absorb. Yeah, they get in there to try to keep you from scoring in the paint with their length. And then we were able to kick out, get open threes. I think we did a kind of poor job of that in the first half, but in the second half, we did a lot better of getting them collapsed on us and we got some open looks. I thought getting their 7-2 guy out on Milos. Brad disappeared. The aliens got him. But, getting their big guy out on Milos because they switch 1 through 5 was big to get him away from the basket. So even if we missed those shots, we had second chance opportunities at the rim. So I thought that was huge.
And so what do you think those keys would be in order to beat Florida?
I think Clayton, I think the blitz is going to work against him because most teams either switch or go drop coverage, and then he can kind of create for himself. Whereas I think the blitz is going to get the ball out of his hands and make some of these secondary guys beat us. Like I said, with Arizona, Arizona's a good team. They could have beat us twice. They could have beat Duke in the NCAA tournament. But I just think that they're more consistent than them. They have explosive guards. We're going to have to keep them out of the paint, make them take tough contested shots. Condon, their big guy, he's a lot like TKR for Purdue, where he's going to keep it in that right hand no matter what. He might make a move going the other way, but it's coming back to that right hand to go over the left shoulder. So I think the bigs just have to be confident that he's coming back to that right hand and just wall up. But yeah, I think that it's going to be a matchup that we've seen more often than Duke. I mean, Duke was just a different story, a different animal. But I think this is going to be a lot more similar to teams that we played.
Duarte said U of H is going to hold them to 59 points. Can you see that?
I think that might be tough. They have multiple games over 90, over 100. They can shoot it. But Cougs never cease to amaze me. Literally, they never cease to amaze me. So, yeah, they absolutely could. But I think I saw Jay Billis giving a little report on Florida. He had the SEC championship game, and he was talking about what an improved defensive player Clayton is and Florida as a whole. I think that we can get a lot of open opportunities off ball screens. I think you can get some curls into the middle. I don't think they're as good defensively. I know they're not as good defensively as Duke was, but I wasn't overly impressed. I think that they have some weaknesses on defense.
Okay. I mean, they're still a 1, right? They're still playing for the national title. It's
Yep.
not like this is Jackson State.
Yep.
But,
yeah, for sure.
you know, I think they're going to be okay. We are going to be live, obviously, after this game. The artwork is done. We're ready. The last time that those two will be together, it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be I just am so curious if either of them can keep it together if they win it. I don't think that's going to happen.
Win.
There's nobody wearing red that will be able to.
Yeah. Shout out to all the people on this stream that are not wearing Houston versus everybody or one substantial gear. Yeah, I just didn't bring any here.
We're losing recipes, man. We're losing recipes.
Also, underpacked socks. Just messed up. Just, I don't know how it happens. Jamie, you have some interesting portal news. Is it news? Is it a rumor? Tell us who it is and what's happening.
I'm not crazy about saying who it is, but the word on the street is Houston is involved with Pop Isaacs, formerly of Texas Tech, played Creighton this past year. I guess we'll see. I've always thought he was kind of soft. And then he had the other allegations that I'm not going to talk about, but they're out there if you look them up. But he can score the basketball.
That's what he could do. He can put points on the board.
He put the ball in the hoop. So, that might be something that they're definitely looking at, trying to replace,
LJ.
Yeah, LJ's points. So he's that kind of guy. If he's on the court, I think he had knee surgery. He got hurt in Vegas when we were all out there.
Yeah.
Had knee surgery, missed predominantly the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's an offensive bucket. So I think everybody right now, it sounds like he's leaning Ole Miss, but the word on the street is Houston's trying to pry him away from Ole Miss. So.
It's interesting.
Hey.
Chris Beard and Kelvin Sampson, they don't scream soft.
Yeah.
So maybe they think they can toughen him up.
Yeah.
Brad?
Well, not only that, I think for both of them to be looking, it would have to be a plea from the player that I need help. I need to be coached. Tell me what to do, and that's what I'll do. Because you're not coming here if that's the case, and you're not going to play for Chris Beard if that's the case. That's a known quantity.
Yeah.
And didn't he go to Tech because of Beard, and then Beard left?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Beard left a long time ago, but it could be, but because he might have been there 20 years.
Here's
his name is Pop.
I don't care who we look at. If Kelvin says that's the guy, that's the guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many times has he been wrong? Maybe 2 or 3 out of
a lot.
2 dozen?
Out of them, yeah.
Especially transfers. You look at, this thing was kickstarted by transfers.
Yeah. So we'll see. And do you have anything on? Is it Sacco? I don't even know how to say his name.
Yeah, Sacco.
Okay. Do you know anything about him?
I do not. I haven't seen him play. I think he's probably filling that JVR role. Probably a shot blocker, rebounder from what I've from what I've read.
And he's what? He's 6'11", or did I 6'11"?
Yep,
can rebound?
6'11".
Yeah, so got good positional size. He already rebounds well at the school he was at. That's probably only going to increase once he joins us. So
Block
yeah,
shots.
rebound, block shots. Got to keep a guy like that for sure.
Looks explosive off the floor.
Yeah. But in regards to Pop Isaac, whatever his name is, I always respected like his fearlessness. I just feel like in order to play how he plays, you have to have a certain level of confidence. Now, and if you think he's not tough, I don't know if that's because of defense or whatever the case may be, but he's a guy that can. I feel like he's kind of like Caleb Love in a way that he has that off. He hasn't seen a shot he doesn't like.
That's true.
Just like Coach Sam, he always says, I'd rather have to turn you down than have to turn you up. So, like I said, like Town said, if Coach Sam thinks he's someone that can help our program and replace what we know that we're losing, shit, I'm all in.
Yeah. Rob Gray.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have him. We didn't have them all. So
I mean, that's he's a gunner like that. I mean, that dude can fill it up quick.
He's never seen a shot that he doesn't like, but
you never uttered the speak Rob Gray and Soft in the same sentence ever.
Correct.
No.
Ever. Not a chance.
And you've had guys that have come in here that have not been thought of as really tough. LJ wasn't. They thought he was a little weak on defense. Milo Shuzan wasn't. And look what those two have turned into. So sometimes you can fine tune a machine and put it going in the right direction. And
I personally just think that if it ain't in you, then it ain't in you. You know, like, so granted, Coach Sam, he definitely brought it out because you have no choice. But it was in those guys. It was just he had to do some digging. But if it's in there, he gonna find it and he gonna get it out of you for sure.
There you go.
And then
does Galen have a press pass? If so, how could you not be cheering on the sidelines?
That kind of answered its own question.
Yeah.
Because I have a press pass, I have to be non-biased.
Yeah.
Man, we got that. We got that. I don't know if I said this yesterday. I was so turned. When they fouled LJ, I ran up out of my seat. The security lady stopped me where I was, like, where are you going? Look at my pass. I'm good. I just had to run down here and breathe because I couldn't sit down. Like, look at what we're about to do. Like, I couldn't keep it in, Ryan. And I'm like, man, if I lose my pass for this, so be it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Let's see. Galen's favorite word: discretion.
Where did that come from, Towns?
No clue. He's so.
I love Towns with the delivery, man. I just love his delivery. Like, man. Who are there any other transfer news or rumors?
Badunga is back at Kansas.
Of course.
Yeah,
he had a no contact clause, huh?
Yeah. I think you'll hear a lot more about it come Wednesday, maybe Thursday. They're doing it, but your focus is somewhere else. U of H is not releasing or is not active out loud about it. So
here's the thing with U of H and the transfer portal. They sneak up on you. It's like you don't hear any murmurs of anything going on, and then bam, somebody's committed. None of us have heard of the guy that committed the other day.
No.
Yeah.
And here he is. And I'm sure he's going to be a big piece of the team next year. So it's just like, I don't know if they say, don't talk about this, don't get it out to the media, don't let anybody in. And then, maybe that just shows what kind of people they are.
Keep it in the family.
Yeah, you're getting somebody trustworthy.
We know we kind of have a good idea of what this program is, and people are knocking on our door. We're not going up, we're not. They don't have a guy sitting there surfing the portal, looking for people that they want to sign. They're getting hit up from agents left and right, and they pick and choose who they wish to talk to. And when you do that, you've got all the leverage to say,
Yeah.
if a word of this gets out, we're done.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we were rumored with the guy from North Dakota State. He committed to Virginia today.
Who was he?
I can't remember his name. He's the extremely bald-headed guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, extremely bald-headed?
Yeah, that's pretty binary to me.
As bald as you could, like Charlie Villanueva, the kid from Arkansas, like as bald as
Mick Cronin.
Mick Cronin. Don't do the wiener on here.
No
now.
wieners. Nope. Not doing the wiener. Not about it. This kid from Sam Houston is a little bit of a world traveler. He's from France. He went to South Plains, which is right outside of Lubbock, and then Utah State, then Sam Houston State, and now Houston. That's wild. But they obviously see something. I'm surprised at just how active they are. With 4 freshmen, maybe they're going to add more than 13 chips if the House settlement. Well, but if the House settlement happens tomorrow, there's a huge hearing on that, and you go to 15. Well, that does open the door, as long as the Big 12 allows it. Some conferences are not allowing that. So,
well, let's put it this way: you don't have to have scholarships. You got NIL to cover that.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not doing that with an international student. You're just not. You're not paying that freight. So, we'll see. The good news is there's other things to discuss over the next few days. And Galen, you want to read this? No?
Absolutely
okay.
not.
How about this one? No? Okay. Yeah.
That did come out of nowhere though. Like just boom. I was like, what in the world? What is this?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Local radio, buddy. You'll be doing that someday. So, what else? Anything else? Any other topics? Jamie, are your seats going to be just as good as they were yesterday?
Oh man, I was halfway between the moon and Mars yesterday, so a little bit closer to Saturn, and telescope. I can watch the game tomorrow.
James, I got to ask you, who would you compare Walter Clayton to?
Caleb Love. I think that's fair. I think that they're both bucket getters. They both, can shoot coming off screens.
What about his league comparison?
I mean, he's up there with the Pettiford, Mark Sears.
Are you talking NBA?
I'm talking about NBA.
Oh,
NBA.
My bad. Geez, I don't know. It'd be something I'd have to think about. He's a little bit undersized.
Clinton Grimes.
What do you got?
It's giving Stephen Curry.
I will. Okay. So,
say what you quick trigger. He pulls it from anywhere. Yeah. Dude, hit you upside the head for 8 threes. Come on, bro. Come on.
T-Mac being 6'10", they're different, but T-Mac and they need an inch. That's all. They can.
If LeBron and MJ had a baby,
all he needs is an inch to get his shot.
Man, and
who does that
sound like?
Yeah,
he don't jump high though. He doesn't elevate.
Yeah, no, it can be off one leg. Like,
hey.
But that's why I think the blitz is so important. Get it out of his hands.
Yeah. That's all. I'm thinking Mr. Curry.
This is what I was thinking of.
Nah, it's more like Steph just does it more carefree. It it's just.
Well,
it's just way more effortless.
He's got those ones where he's like shooting a 3, gliding, not fading away, like gliding to the side 3 feet. It's like Yeah, this guy's hitting everything off balance. It doesn't matter.
I did pick up that he likes drifting to his left when he shoots the three.
Yeah.
I think, if you can force him to go to that right, that might take him down a couple of percentages. But, yeah, you let him drift that left. Braden Smith was kind of the same way from Purdue. He likes to shoot fading to the left, but he's a much better shooter than Braden Smith. But
absolutely.
I think the key to getting him is to beat his ass on defense.
Yeah.
He's gonna work. He's gonna have to work to get his shot just like everybody else. But when we're on offense, we just gotta wear him out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna be a part of what we do with the entire team.
And he can't have any easy looks. Like Ryan, I think yesterday when we were at the game, he had Joe right down the lane. This was late in the second half. You were like, that's too easy. It's like he can't have none of those to get him going and get his mojo going. Like he can't have none of those easy looks that set him up. Can't do that. So, but that's gonna be the key right there, man. That is the key. Then and also keeping them off the glass, I think as well. But he's at the top of the priority list.
Yeah, I think you could see a lot of Malik on him.
Yeah, just hound him. Just be there. Like you ain't even got to be doing. Just be in his face. Yep. Wherever you go, just like, yeah. Man, I'm looking forward to it.
Galen, let me ask you this. I know we're not going to, but we're pretty good at the end of game full court pressing. I noticed Tennessee, when that game that I watched, when Clayton was out, they full court pressed them and gave them hell. You think that would ever be something that would cross his mind?
I'm sure he saw the success that Tennessee had when they did that. And, it's something that you in the course of a game, you never know what you may need because you never know what the trend is going to be. So, like I said, it's the last game of the year. Who knows what he might like? Who knows? You're willing to do anything to get a win. So, are you
gonna go away from what you've done all year?
I mean, it's not what how did they win yesterday? Full court made people panic. So it's just like, it's not something that you haven't done. It's just the timing may be different, but if the success that you have whenever you do it, I don't think there's anybody on that team that's as comfortable or as confident with the ball and making decisions and taking those types of shots than he is. And if he gets in early foul trouble, like you never know. You just never know.
I think one of the biggest weapons that we have that goes untalked about, and I know he messed up at the end of the game yesterday, but then he redeemed himself, is JoJo guarding on passers. Baseline out of bounds, when they're stuck and they can't go side to side, good luck getting the pass over him. I mean, it's just crazy.
What'd you say about him yesterday, Galen?
Who?
Stop jumping.
Yeah, but I mean, he gets the job done, but it's like whenever you jump and they can move, you can't move when you're in the air. It's like more so stay grounded. But I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, but just like yesterday, I think like the game plan, I feel like I can talk about this now, is they thought that going at Cooper flag was going to be advantageous. Juan going up because he gives anybody problems on that block. And I think it was for a short period of time in the second half. Juan scored consecutive baskets. Granted, they made it hard for him to catch, but I wouldn't be surprised if their game plan tomorrow is to go at their best player, which is Walter Clayton, because you got to.
I mean, by going at him, you're attacking his legs.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you got to do that.
He's not an elite defender. I think that Milos can get in the paint a lot more than he did yesterday, for sure.
But I don't know if I can say it. I can talk about the Duke stuff, right?
Sure.
So, but
we're done.
How? Because they knew that what the matchups are going to be, and the plays that they made, and how Duke guarded them. They switched everything. So how he dictated, we're going to do this. So this guy switches on. How he dictated that to get Juan the ball here. Masterful. It's Like it's truly something remarkable to watch. And I just know that whoever they want, if the game plan is to attack Clayton, depending on what their defensive scheme is, whatever their scheme is, they're going to dictate whether it's Los, E-Man, whoever it is. They got a package for that, if that is the game plan.
Well, that's his NBA roots.
Yes, exactly
that he
what
learned.
He
Is being
said
able
that
to
too.
be able to pick out and hunt that matchup and set it up to you get the favorable matchup that you want, and then you go at it.
He said, J1, don't pass it. like Ryan, no kidding. Like they were doing like a little scrimmage. J1 shot the ball. Coach, every time. J1 shoot the ball every time. Like, this is how we're gonna win. Crazy.
J1 led you with 5 assists, by the way.
Because we got the ball in the paint.
Yeah. This is funny.
Go ahead, Ryan.
That's it. That's all I have.
Galen, what's your thoughts on, is Sampson the best you've ever seen about second half adjustments? It seems like when we come out of halftime.
I mean, I feel like, let alone the adjustments, but it's more so the message that needs to be delivered to the team. So yesterday, I thought that we didn't play good in the first half, but we were only down 6, whereas it felt like Duke played great. So that's not a half where the message is going to be, he's going to be trying to get guys fired up. He knows guys are fired up. So it's more so calm and reassuring, like, we're okay, we can be us and still win this game. Like, look what we withstood and we're only down 6. We overcame greater things. So I think, granted, his adjustments, they're great. We know that. But more so him having a pulse for the vibe of the team and knowing what they need to hear, I think that's what makes him a great coach. Because a lot of times it might not be the right timing to deliver certain messages, but it always seems like his timing is always 99% right.
For sure.
Yeah.
And U of H came out and played pretty well early in that second half.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Duke just kept popping you.
Yeah.
And,
it's like, man, there's a lesson in that. Just keep going, keep fighting. Like, if anybody ever thought about giving up on anything, just show them the last 10 minutes of that game. Like, it's you would have never thought. Like, did y'all see they had like a little track after Chronicle shot that free throw that Duke had like a 90-some% chance to win the game, and then with each pass and possession, the chance it just dwindled, and it's just like you just never know how close you may be. So just keep going because you never know what's going to happen.
Well, the beautiful thing of watching that particularly is how much of an impact JoJo had on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had the block shot. Yeah. Then he had the tip to keep the ball alive before Malik got it. Then he got the rebound dunk. I mean,
him and Malik in late game situations, and you need to steal. I feel a level of comfort when those two are on
the floor.
Something is gonna happen. Good, bad, or indifferent. There's gonna be a play.
No,
made.
it's you're gonna make a play. It ain't indifferent.
Yeah.
So the 94% win percentage. I'm gonna read y'all something, and the local reporter, I believe he's out of the NBC affiliate here, was sitting in with Emmanuel in the breakout sessions today. I'm going to read you his question. This is verbatim. And then Emmanuel's elaborate response. Emmanuel, couple of questions for you, buddy. Congratulations, by the way. Blank, I didn't get his name, NBC News. Okay, so last night, Cooper Flagg hits a 3 to go up 64-55. You then come back to get a layup after 3 offensive rebounds. At that point, there's 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game. The probability of Houston winning, or should I say Duke's probability of winning, was 94% at that time. On the floor, how did you see Houston's chance of winning? To which Emmanuel said, 6%. So the guy asked a 4-minute long question and got nailed with 2 words. And that to me, is how you handle the media.
Like
the Baylor kid explaining rebound.
You said the ball comes off the rim,
and
it's called a rebound.
You grab it with your hands.
They had more of those than we did. PP is hilarious.
That was fantastic.
That was elite. Yeah. But it's like, what do you think is going through his mind? Damn, they have a 94% chance of win. Like, who knows that?
I think he was definitely thinking that. JoJo too. JoJo
go outside and touch grass. Jesus Christ.
JoJo mentioned in one of the breakout sessions today that we're talking, I think it was 1:30, maybe 2. JoJo had already watched the entire game twice. He watched it last night fully. Like Milo said, yeah, as soon as we got to the hotel, I went to sleep. I wasn't feeling good, had a headache, went to bed.
He said that. He did say they had a headache.
JoJo was like, yeah, I'm going to watch the whole game.
I don't know.
He's built different.
I mean, I keep talking about it because I'm just so impressed, but I don't know if there's ever been one player who has done so much for me than JoJo in one single game, as far as realizing that, holy shit, there's something special about this kid. Not physically. I know how great physically he is, but his mentality is
nothing phases him. Nothing phases him.
No.
He made that play. He said, "Fuck," and then walked to co-samp, and he had, like, his face didn't change. It was just on to the next thing. And it's like I played with this guy named Jared Allen, and Jared, he was one of those guys where, like, he'd dunk on people and I'd scream for him because, like, he was one of those guys, he did not know how special he was. And I think in that regard, JoJo is very similar to him. It's like JoJo doesn't know how special he is because he's doing things he's always done. It's just, we're just seeing it, but
right.
He doesn't even realize, like, bro, you're a freak of nature.
I ran into
I walk in the locker room and say, "Gee, what good, bro?" He said, "You could pass me a Gatorade." I was like, "All right." Like, you don't realize what you just did, bro. But I got your Gatorade, bro. Like, what? Like, it was crazy.
I ran into his high school coach when I was walking out last night and just had to stop and thank him for getting JoJo ready. I mean, those guys go a little underappreciated sometimes, but
Kelvin has specifically pointed him out several times that they brought him a ready-to-go college athlete. And that's got
to be able to take
cool.
coaching, man. Got to be able to take coaching. It's like a lot of times when they get to college, it's the first time that they're told the truth. And I think they dropped a video with Bruce Pearl's kid, and how, like, with Bruce Pearl was talking to him, kid is straight eye contact. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's just like, that's what it takes. And it's like a lot of times when you're dealing with highly touted kids, nobody's ever told them the truth. Nobody's ever held them accountable because they were afraid of that kid's reaction. And it's just like, if you're one of those guys, you're not going to make it in our program.
No.
Or any successful program.
It might have been Kelvin. It could have been Kellen today. Unleashed the starting in June when they get back to workouts. The focus with JoJo is offensive game. The entire summer, the entire offseason.
Yeah.
Sorry, Big 12. Because
he's got, when he does shoot, he's got really, really good touch.
Yeah.
He's got really good touch. He just needs to get a little bit more refined and get more confident with that.
And more aggressive.
Man, he is going to be, man, you just add a little bit of offense and let him progress over the season. But, man, you add offense to what he does. I mean, you're talking that's a monster. That's a monster.
I know it was the Tennessee game, but there's been a couple of games where the very first possession of the game, we've set that little screen for him, and he's curled off to the middle of the paint.
I think that was Purdue, huh? Was that Purdue? He scored the first 4?
Yeah, may have been.
That was Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been a couple of times where we've given him the first look at the game, and he's made it. And then you just have to feel confident.
Now he's going.
Yeah, you have to feel confident as a team that tonight's going to be a good night when JoJo gets the first bucket of the game.
JoJo motor going. Oh, yeah. It's right. And then even in the practice, coach is saying, you see JoJo posting up, throw it to him. He's been getting back, throw it to him. You got that just gives you more confidence, period, without the work. Him just believing that, you know what, this guy's been working. Give him the ball.
Hey man, it's always been my bias is if a big man's working his ass off and gets position, he gets the rock.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially if he settles in the low block. It's like, come on, feed the man.
Yeah. But it's like that kid, he has so much ability that is.
Have you guys discussed Milos being on the bench at the end of the game? We have not.
He had 4 fouls.
Yeah, and
they were doing the offensive defensive sub with him and Malik.
Yeah. Yeah, you want Malik in those defensive situations. So I wouldn't read too much into that.
Yeah, no,
that guy is right there for you. He played with. He came back in the game in the first half with 2 fouls, which you rarely ever see in this program. Hakeem played every first half with 3 fouls. So, it's a way different mentality than it was then. I've read stories where Hakeem had 4 at halftime. And I just keep throwing him out there because, who else was going to do what he did?
Dream.
Galen, is there a difference between the assistant coaches in their scouts? Meaning, is there going to be a different scout with Kellen doing Florida versus if KC did Florida?
It's like 6 + 3 and 5 + 4 both give you 9. Like you're going to get to the same conclusion, but the delivery may be different. But what they see, because they know what Coach Sam is looking for and what will give us the best chance to win, what they see and how they think that we can beat it is going to be the same. Like that is, I feel like they're very similar minds when it comes to how the game is viewed. But like the delivery, it'll be different.
Okay.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah. I mean, it was a better answer than I was expecting, to be honest.
I think for the most part, they'll probably meet together, right, as a staff and go over the scouting report, and then
everybody gets to chip in their ideas.
Yeah.
But one person has to distill it and get it ready. And Kellen was, I offered him some pharmaceutical help last night, but he chose not to accept that. So I think he's doing it all natural.
Crack is whack.
Yeah. Well, here at the Alamo Dome. Galen, we're going to be at the arena at 7 a.m. So join us.
Ryan, you got a better chance smoking a cigarette underwater.
Okay. Well, I guess not. That's fine. Regardless, I'm enjoying the journey of the young dude's evolution as a whole. I didn't get the first part of that comment. Sniper confirmed, kidding, of course, but the aspect is there to be honed. Yeah, he shoots a lot of threes in practice. He's not ready for it to be part of this game plan. But, Joanne has shot a lot of threes in practice, and you just don't see him doing that in games because it's just, if you've got JoJo or LJ, I'm going to take LJ shooting that.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. You know what, guys? I just want to this has been such ethical hoops talk. Now, I want to see all 4 of us, though. Like, this has been like a really elite ethical hoops talk conversation, man. I'm just glad to be a part of it. Had to let y'all know.
What do you mean ethical hoops talk?
Like just pure, like we're just talking pure hoops. Like we're just talking pure hoops. Everything that we see, like this is an elite conversation.
This is a ball knowers party.
And Ryan. It's fine. We all know. I really had some great. It's been a very active social media day for Ryan. A lot of people talked a lot of more noise, and I don't see it. Oh, this guy from Barstool. Houston is so undisciplined. All I heard is we, meaning Florida, it's going to be out coached. Doesn't look like it. I'm happy y'all get to watch the best team to ever play in college basketball. Poor Houston would be the best team in the country in any other year. Step on them now. We are so much better. Holy shit. Wait till we start shooting. They won't be able to score on us. We're in a great spot. What is happening? Woke up still really sad. So his arc kind of
how fast it changes, man.
It went downhill.
You know what's been crazy though, Ryan? The Rock Chalk blog, the love they've been showing is almost crazy.
That's blue blood hatred.
No, but I'm saying like
they've
been acknowledging us, like, man, these dudes are who we used to be. Like,
I think we stole their soul in Kansas, and they've really been going into that game. They were a little chippy, but then since then they're like, okay, I'm convinced these guys are for real.
Yeah, they
are what we were.
I don't know why it would take until that game to be convinced, but okay.
You know, it's the thing of when people have a sense of invincibility, you don't believe it could happen to you until it does, and then when it happened to you, like, damn, this is for real.
Yep. I mean, you know, it's at that point, it's like, okay, as much as I want to dismiss it,
yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't. But I'm just glad that they're like showing respect though. You know, like and it seemed genuine. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. High praise, especially for they gave a lot of high praise to Coach Sam. Man, I appreciate that.
And you know, I really don't think that we finished the game last night like we did without going through the wars in the Big 12.
Absolutely.
I mean, this team, we don't. It's hard to kind of wrap our head around it because we're right in the middle of it. But from stepping back from a 30,000-foot viewpoint, we went in. We haven't lost a road game in forever. We don't lose away from home since when?
November 30th in Vegas.
You won at Texas Tech, you won at Kansas, you won at Arizona, and you won at Baylor, and even West Virginia is a tough place
at
to play.
UCF.
Yeah.
Very losable game.
I mean, you're talking about going into at least 3 to 4 elite environments that are really, really, really difficult to play in. And you came out unscathed.
It's wild.
We didn't. You don't get that anywhere. I mean, you might. I guess you can get it in the SEC. I'd say the Big Ten
in America.
I'd say maybe the Big Ten, but they don't match up athlete wise.
They'd be milking that SEC best conference stuff, man. They just probably have the biggest budgets.
I'll give the SEC this. The top of that conference is really, really, really good. The middle and the bottom is just like anybody else, but they get rated because they have quality losses.
Mediocre.
Mediocre.
I mean, they signed a better media contract with ESPN than you did. That's really the difference.
Well, and they had a really, really, really good non-conference season.
Yeah.
And that carried the ratings over. But I mean, Mississippi State, those are hot dog water.
Yeah. Auburn showed you something about getting too hot too quick. They reached their peak, I would say, late February and struggled all through March and then got here and got worked in that second half. I mean, worked last night.
Who was up at half at that game?
Auburn.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know they were. I was like, I remember looking at the halftime score, like, dang, Auburn putting the hurt on these boys. They were like 9 or something, right?
Didn't Jonah Broom get shut down in the second half? Did he get shut out?
Yeah, I don't know if he got shut out, but he
disappeared like Kneppel.
Yeah, Florida won the second half 41-27.
Brad, you got it.
I didn't even hear it. I wasn't paying attention.
This is the second half, like Kneppel.
Poor Knipple.
Brad, you just be trolling. I know you probably got like a burner account. You got to. You got to.
7 or 8.
I might have a bunch of them.
Yeah, one of them's called Rock Chalk Blog Hawk. Yeah, I was not impressed with Auburn, their discipline late in that game. I just thought they looked like a Bruce Pearl team. They like this slightest little bit of conflict, and they just kind of went into hero ball.
They looked very much like the Auburn team that we beat in Birmingham. That first half they had everything going, and then the second half,
just front runners.
I mean, hey, you get that boa constrictor around you, and it just never let go, and it only gets tighter and tighter and tighter until you eventually choke.
I did see some behind-the-scenes stuff from after their game last night, and it was Bruce in the hallway before they went in the locker room as a staff. And he had the stat paper, and he said 16 points off turnovers is what got us beat. So for me tomorrow night, that's a big key, is take care of the basketball. Don't let them get easy baskets and
transition. Everything.
Yeah, because that is how they lost yesterday for sure.
Any points you get off turnovers is
a
bonus, man, because you don't anticipate that going into a game. So if you're getting 16, that's
I know we talked about rewarding big guys earlier. Their big guy, Condon, he rim runs like crazy. So I know Houston's one of the better teams, and I know that's a huge emphasis is transition defense, but you got to watch him on the rim run because they look for him pretty often. So.
Another thing that I noticed yesterday was clearly the scout was make J1 go right. They just gave him his right as if he's not and I'm just curious as to, is he just that hard to guard and is that hard to dictate? Because J1, he's a little undersized, but he's strong as an ox. You don't look it, but he's super strong. So I just be wondering, is he just that hard to guard, or are people just that bad at defense?
Right.
The thing when I see that, they're guarding high side. I mean, they're guarding high side
like they're literally taking away his right shoulder. And it's like,
I mean, it looks like they're trying to deny an entry pass. That's how high up they are.
Yeah.
And then he just drops steps and then just still shoots it left-handed. But then you can shoot it left-handed because you got him sealed.
So behind you, that was just so weird to me. Like, Cooper out there looking like never guarded a post before.
Looking like a freshman in the Final Four.
I mean, that boy good, though.
Oh, he's real. He's a bad man for sure. He's about to be quite the millionaire.
He'll make a lot of money.
He probably already is.
Oh, he is, for sure.
Yeah, he already is.
Oh, and everybody knows that the lottery's going to be rigged, and he's going to go to wherever they really need him to.
You know how the lottery is rigged is if all 112 people that are going to be lottery picks actually make it in the lottery. That's how you know it's rigged. All right, let's do some final thoughts and get out of here so we can come back and do this tomorrow. One last time. And we'll get to that. Yeah, Jamie, what you got?
Pretty awesome to do the final scouting report of the season. Everybody else in the country took up their practice gear. So 2 teams got to practice today. 2 get to play tomorrow. That's pretty freaking awesome that it's our guys. I know we were super loud last night, super emotional game, but I expect it to be even 10 times more tomorrow. I would ride on the big board tomorrow, whatever it takes. Toughest team wins. We know that, but whatever it takes, whatever you have to do, you got to be the first on the floor for the loose ball. I think Rothstein the other day said that when you play Kansas or when you play Houston, 50-50 balls are more like 90-10 balls, and that's how it's got to be tomorrow. So go Cougs, and let's finish this thing.
Bradley Wade Towns.
All the work's over. You made it to Monday. Nobody else is playing after this. You no longer have to grind. Guess what? You got one game where you can go out and have fun. And this is what you've been dreaming of your entire life. And here it is. So just go out and have fun and just let it rip. This team plays their style of basketball. They're the only ones that can stop themselves. So let's go out and just go out and let it rip. Let's see what happens.
Godfather.
I remember I listened to Mike Miller talk about LeBron's Game 6 performance in Boston. And LeBron said, I'm going to empty the clip and then I'm going to throw my gun at him. And I just feel like, that's indicative of what we have to do. But I'd say also, like, I know Coach Sam, his message to our guys has probably been just be where your feet are. Like, you're literally living in your dream right now. Like, and that's just kind of surreal to think about because you only realize how big certain things are once they pass. And it's like, man, how perfect is it to have a championship game? You get a coach like that to his first ever Monday game, and it's in your home state. Like that's truly special, man. But I don't think it's going to take anything special. And I know that he's told our guys, just go do your best because your best is good enough. You don't got to try to act like you're this guy or that guy. Go out there and be you. Play with your heart, man. And we when we're ourselves, just do what got you here, man. When we're ourselves, I like our chances against anybody.
That is pretty cool. You're living your dream, like you're awake in the dream.
You're literally living in your dream. Like the guys walking to the hotel, you see like last night, our Houston supporters is like everybody's family was able to make it. It's like you're literally living in your dream. Like every kid dreams of winning playing in a title game.
And I'm so old. As soon as you said that, I hear Debbie Gibson only in my dreams in my head. Ryan knows it.
I told you I was singing it. I had it in my head.
Never heard of it.
Her.
No.
I told you yesterday, if you live in Houston or Austin or Dallas and you're not at the game tomorrow night, you're an asshole. Well, if you don't read Jamie's scout for this game, you're an asshole. Jamie puts in the work. He gets it. The people on the staff read his work. Jeremy Branham goes on the radio with the information he learns from Jamie's work.
Reed Geddes.
I guarantee you that the big people, when they're finally watching a U of H game, they find Jamie at GoCoogs. We appreciate him so much.
Ryan, you know what else I've learned? If you don't take your behind to OneSubstantial.com, you're an asshole.
I don't agree with that one myself.
Of course you don't. You're the only one that's out of uniform.
Exactly.
OneSubstantial.com. 27% of all proceeds go to me. They really don't. I don't get anything. I pay for my own. But go check out Jamie. I expect a tight first 4 minutes. I think it's a stage that neither of these teams have been on, neither of these coaches have been on. I think it'll be a little tight, and then whoever deals with that and starts playing has the advantage. I think it'll be the experienced group. I wouldn't be shocked if U of H comes out with a steamroller, but I would expect it to be a little tight because they're playing for their coach and they're playing for history, really. I mean, Florida's won titles. Houston, you've been on that doorstep and haven't been able to get it done. So I think it'll be a little tight. Shout out to Field of 68. I listened to some of their show because they were sitting down from me last night, and they said Duke took their foot off the gas, and that's why they lost. So that's pretty good analysis.
Duke got that foot, pulled it off the gas, and shoved it right up that ass.
I don't know what that accent was, but it couldn't have been.
Duke can kiss my balls all around them.
Brad.Towns@gmail.
VB Towns on Twitter. Hit me up.
Yeah, go get you some Towns. Fire. I don't even know what that means.
My
What
balls.
if you're already an asshole? But see, you're a bigger one.
You can always, you can always
There always is another level.
Asshole. Yeah. Pause.
So last thing, tomorrow night, you feel like he's been here for forever, but tomorrow night is the last time. If you look at this picture, far left, you're going to lose LJ. Far right, you're going to lose JVR. Right in the middle. Last year, Jamal was the alpha. He was it, but Jawan was the heart and soul of the team, the glue guy. And I mean, he is the absolute face of your program, and it's his last time around. And man, just so excited for him and the opportunity for him to, I mean, 6 years ago, you didn't think this guy a national championship in the same sentence. But here you are right on that doorstep.
We do. For the rest of our lives, the University of Houston will be looking back on one weekend in San Antonio, and we're going to say, after we get done tomorrow night, remember the Alamo Covenant.
Isn't that crazy? That is so wild. Jim Nantz has been such a fanboy this week. It's been so cool to hear him on the radio and TV bits, and then to see him crying in the stands and see him back in the locker room, around the locker room. It's just wild.
He's
sure, like everybody else.
Coug TV, that's where I got that.
Yes, that's where you got it. Coug TV. Kenneth Bowman and Daniel are the guys from Coug TV.
They sat with me yesterday.
They sat next to Galen yesterday.
Yep.
Galen had such great seats that he was next to Student Media and Andy Yanez.
Best in the house.
Everybody go follow them. Go follow them on Twitter.
100%. Go follow Kenneth Bowman. I don't know Daniel's social, but Kenneth is a cool guy and have noticed his work all year. He was coming to Willie's press conferences and asking really good questions. Like, this isn't student questions. This is real media questions. And just so impressed with what they're doing. Big note right here. You're the higher seed, so you're going to wear white uniforms tomorrow, as you have in every game except yesterday. So there you go. Thank all of y'all for being here with us. You were here last night till after 1 a.m. You're here tonight till 10. And you've been with us all year. We're going to do it one more time.
At least.
And then I'm going to go die a peaceful death. You know, probably the world is going to end before you get to 0 tomorrow night. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. Or Ted Cruz is going to show up and that's going to screw you. One way or the other. You got a lot of demons coming at you. So if you do win this, it's pretty crazy.
Please, everybody, get on Twitter tonight and just let Ted know we've got a big game Tuesday night here in San Antonio. We'll see him there Tuesday. We'll welcome him with open arms, and we can't wait.
Yeah. There you go. A lot of people should be here tomorrow.
Luckily, we got a lot of cover fire from Kendrick, so we don't hear from Drake. That jinx again.
KJ Bo, there you go. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Man, I don't know how any of you are going to sleep tonight. Me, I have a bucket of NyQuil that I'm about to go tear into. But this is one of those days of your life. I mean, this is like being 5-year-old on Christmas Eve. Like, how do you do it?
You know, like when the clock hit 0 and we saw that, like, it dawned on us that we're going to the title game, which is an amazing feeling. The clock hitting 0 tomorrow, and we have more than them. Like,
We got hope.
I mean, but it's just like, just imagine what that feeling is gonna be. Like, how speechless will we truly be?
I won't.
Like,
I'm dropping F-bombs.
But it's like, man.
You know,
like,
Towns, we were about to clip this and put it on the internet and make it really classy and shit, and you just ruin it.
But it's like, man, what that's gonna mean to the city of Houston? Like, I feel like we're gonna be speechless. Because I was sure as hell speechless yesterday, but winning it all. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
And cut. Okay, that's where we can get our moment. Good job, Brad, for keeping your mouth shut. See y'all in San Antonio tomorrow night. Big 12 versus everyone. Houston versus everyone. OneSubstantial.com. GoCoogs tomorrow morning. Jamie, Final Four diary. This is it. And we'll see y'all all tomorrow night. Okay, here's one. Q said on the show last night in group chat, tomorrow is for all the past players and family, going back to OU. Before that, you saw what Marcus and Jamal, you see what Galen's going through. It's going to be pretty cool. I think this is it. This is destiny, but you got to go out and play that game and be where your feet are. Things will work out. Thank y'all so much. We really do appreciate it.